What about that ball game Friday night? For those of you that don't know, you're in Robbinsville in Graham County. Y'all know that, but what you may not know is this is referred to also as Titletown. So let's hear it for the Robbinsville Black Knights. We're going to go with a little bit of an altered script this morning because the Secretary's plane could not land in Andrews and he ended up in Knoxville, and we all know what that means as far as trying to get here. So that we get to involve you guys that have come out from the school, and thank you so much for coming out. We're going to have a couple of our speakers talk to you a little bit this morning. And my history with this project, by the way, I was younger than all of you when this started. I was 12 years old. And when this started, the idea of this project, I did not have any gray hair. So, as you can tell, things have changed since this started. So, the first person to come up and talk to you is Connie Orr. You all know her as Connie, the piano player up at the church, and she's also the chairman of the Graham County Board of Commissioners, and she's also, I call her Sis a whole lot. So, if y'all would welcome Connie Orr, please.
Thank you, Dirk, and thank you all for being here, especially the students. I didn't know you were going to be here, but it's a very historical day, so thank you for being here. I think Dirk's a little bit younger than I am. I think I was 19 when this thing started. Do the math, I am 76, okay? I'll help you with that. Okay, to our visitors, all of you that I haven't had a chance to say hello to, welcome. We are glad you're here. Friends, families, brothers and sisters, and neighbors, and certainly students, you bless us by your presence here today. Thank you for attending this most historic gathering. The Appalachian Regional Commission was created by Congress in 1965 to bring 13 Appalachian states into the mainstream of American economy. The Commission was created to promote economic growth and improve the quality of life for all 13 regions, which included Western North Carolina. Now, they don't know that in Asheville, but that's us. Okay. The mission included new roads to promote economic growth and connectivity to remote, hard-to-access areas like Graham County. Corridor K was one of the roads that was proposed. At the time, Corridor K consisted of approximately 128 miles from I-40 near Waynesville, North Carolina, terminating at I-75 in Cleveland, Tennessee. 84 miles of the road would be in North Carolina, and 44 miles of the road would be in Tennessee. Today, the remaining portions of Corridor K not completed are known as the missing links in North Carolina, and they run from the end of the existing 4-lane highway at Wolf Creek Grocery in Sequoia Community in Graham County to the existing 4-lane in Andrews, North Carolina in Cherokee County. The majority of the missing link is still in Graham County. Corridor K may very possibly be the most studied highway in the history of North Carolina. Many environmental impact studies have been conducted through the years, such as the final Environmental Impact Statement, FEIS, completed in 1984 for the remaining unfinished portions of Corridor K. From 1995 to 2009, a total of 7 citizens' informational workshops and 1 public hearing were held. The majority of the local citizens were in favor of the proposed project, citing the county's challenging economic conditions made more difficult by the limited access to the area. The proposed highway, which we gratefully celebrate today, will be a vast improvement over the existing road system. The alternating passing lanes, hallelujah, will improve school bus safety and will also improve the time required to provide ambulance, fire, and other rescue services. The beautiful proposed highway will enhance the beloved characteristics of our spectacular mountains, lakes, streams, waterfalls, and promote Graham County's #1 sustainable industry, and that is travel and tourism. Through extensive coordination efforts with all stakeholders and the outstanding leadership of Wanda Austin, Division 14 Engineer, North Carolina Department of Transportation has received concurrence for this revised road project. Approvals were granted from the Federal Highway Administration, USDA Forest Service, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, North Carolina Division of Land Resources, the North Carolina Division of Forest Resources, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. And I would like to pause here and thank you, Ed Satterfield, for helping me get some of these statistics together. Thank you very much. Inadequate road infrastructure has levied a harsh blow to Graham County's economy, forcing a local construction company that employed 1,400 people to leave Graham County and relocate where the infrastructure supported the growth of their business. Yet Ted Phillips, who was a former North Carolina Highway Commissioner himself, and his wife Avis Phillips never forgot their hometown and where they came from. They worked tirelessly through many years and multiple administrations to promote the completion of Corridor K. Mrs. Avis Phillips continues her valuable assets as a stakeholder for Corridor K even today. On behalf of Graham County, I would like to thank all parties for coming together to move this project forward, especially once again the North Carolina Department of Transportation. Two, I would like to recognize my friend and yours, Jack Debnam. Jack, would you please stand up wherever you are? We couldn't help that Jack was from Jackson County, but he really turned the wheels for Graham County. And thank you so much, Jack. We appreciate your help and the work that you did so tirelessly for us. Also, I would like to thank our Honorable Governor, Roy Cooper, for his support and assistance. Last and not least, I would like to recognize our current Highway Commissioner, Dirk Cody, my brother and my friend. For this historic time, historic place, this historic day, Dirk, your efforts to fast-track this Corridor K project from Stacoa to Robbinsville will long be recalled with genuine gratitude. And would you please stand, Dirk? Let's give him a round of applause. And now I ask that, pardon me, got a mean one. This fog doesn't do anything to help my voice either. I would like to ask all parties involved to keep this important Corridor K project moving forward to completion as quickly as possible from Robbinsville to Andrews. The life of our beautiful county and the livelihood of our esteemed citizens, and especially our young citizens, we want you to be able to remain here, make a good living here, and enjoy your life in these beautiful mountains. It depends on our ingress and egress and on our road systems here. And now I would like to recognize our veterans. If you are a veteran, would you please stand? Or if you're in a crowd, just raise your hand, please. Thank you so very much for your service, and God bless America. And now, I would like to, in conclusion, recognize one other person. I've mentioned the name before, but I would like to ask Wanda Austin, if you would please stand. And let's give Wanda a big round. round of applause on her recent engagement and upcoming marriage. May you always know all the happiness that you deserve. I thank you for your kind attention, your participation, and may you have a very blessed rest of the day.
Connie, thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is going to be Miss Wanda Hosta. So a little fact or two about her. She is the only female division engineer in the state of North Carolina. She's the second one, I guess, ever in the history of the state. So if you would, welcome Wanda Hosta.
Mary's first thing in the morning, you know, when you get up here. Anyway, it is it's a pleasure to be here. You know, Connie mentioned a lot of folks. There was a lot of other helped us get to this point. You know, throughout the years, like they said, it's been a work for the last 50 plus years, 57 years. And, you know, it's exciting to see something like this finally come to fruition. And we wouldn't be here if the groundwork hadn't been laid before us. And then when I took over, when Dirk, you know, and I took over, you know, we were just standing on a good foundation that had been put before. And from there, you know, we were able to build on that. Some of the other important folks that helped us get here, you know, some other agencies is, you know, the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, North Carolina Division of Water Resources, also the Appalachian Regional Commission. We definitely would not be here without them because they're funding the project. But, you know, we're an important partner. Also, we had several engineering firms that helped us get, you know, and we also had folks like from the Way South Mountain True that helped us, you know, see a better keeping, you know, Graham County. We don't want to lose the nature, the history, the feel of what we have here today. And that's what this project brings to us is a great collaboration between getting a transportation project that meets the needs of mobility and reliability that we all need to get to schools, to get to hospitals, to get to higher education, to get to, you know, whatever we need to get to. Also bring those folks into Graham County to help the economy here, but then also looking beyond that and looking, you know, and keeping that environmental piece in every step of the way in what we do. And that collaboration I'm very proud of. I think it'll, you know, go into the next projects that we have. We've built some great partnerships, both on the local, state, and federal level, and it's my hope that that'll keep growing with us. You know, as Connie was saying, there's a lot of neat features to this project. The passing lanes, you know, the wider shoulders, that was something that was, it was a no-go per se. So we had the 10-foot paved shoulders. That's something that you don't see anywhere else typically. But this highway, you will see a wider shoulder, and that is part of that reliability and mobility aspect of the project. That was very important. Also, you've got the pedestrian safety with a multi-use path that'll be in Socoa, in the heart of Socoa, and then you also have the completion of sidewalks that'll help bring sidewalks to the school. There's already some sidewalks, but that'll complete that connection. So that'll help folks here in Robbinsville itself. Also from there, you know, one of the unique features is the first wildlife crossing that's in western North Carolina. Just some folks say that there was another one, you know, down toward Winston-Salem, but I argue that this is the first one that's in North Carolina. But this is, what makes this one unique is the fact that it will carry the Appalachian Trail, and that is a historic trail that runs through the heart of Graham County and the heart of western North Carolina. And so this trail will be a part of that. On top of that wildlife crossing, it'll also help take the wildlife off the road, because that, many of y'all know if you're traveling 143, it's, can be dangerous if you've got hikers or, meet animals along the way. So this'll help those, the hikers and the wildlife itself, have that safe passage. Corridor K, like Connie said, is a long section. This is just a piece of it, and it's been a long time in the making, and we're very pleased that it's here. I'm glad that the kids could be here. I'm glad all of y'all are here. Unfortunately, the secretary will be delayed, and he'll come and have his remarks at that point, but I appreciate everybody coming this morning. And do you want to play?
Well, I guess if anybody's got any questions.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Does anybody have questions? We'll do that for a while. No questions? Okay, there's going to be a pop quiz on Tuesday. So, do y'all want to know the answers? Okay.
We can watch the live stream. Yeah.
Okay.
How many miles is the project? This part?
Oh, you would ask me that on the fly. It's 12.12 miles. We'll say 12. Yeah, I'm getting the 12. So from Robbinsville to Andrews, that is the A section of our program. It's called A9A. It is currently, in the developmental step, which means that it has some funding from ARC. It definitely does not have enough funding to fully construct it. We have been looking at ways to maybe look at hot spots along the way and see if there's stuff that we could accomplish there. We've also been looking at other means of funding that section.
I think any student asks a question needs extra credit.
All right, go ahead.
What's the speed limit?
The speed limit? It was 55 or 45. I'm looking at the designers. Look at the planners. 55? Okay, posted 55 and the rule sections, then of course it'll stay the same speed limit that it is today.
I got two. Are you gonna do away with Compton? And is it, while it's under construction, is it gonna like halt traffic, like keep us from getting to Andrews?
No, you'll still be able to get to Andrews, and we're not, no, there'll be improvement, hopefully, eventually, sometime in the future, there'll be improvements to Compton. There's actually several different transportation projects that kind of overlap in the Compton area. So we do have a feasibility study that's running from Andrews, through Compton and on into the Banana Gorge. And then, of course, you've got the Corridor K that comes down on 129 that's in that Compton area. So hopefully we're attacking it in enough ways that we'll be able to make some improvements, because we do know that it's definitely a hot spot that needs improvement. Principal had a question. Somebody? Did somebody else? Did you? Okay.
So I know the first two sections have been bid off from here to Wolf Creek. when can we expect to actually see work begin, and what is the completion date for that section of Wolf Creek?
So there's, the A section, the contractor, there'll be a pre-construction conference this week, next week, and he'll submit his schedule at that point. He can honestly start construction at any point. And at first that'll look like, signs going up, maybe some clearing, that type of work. I have heard that it may be on into the spring before he actually starts ramping up. As far as the B section, it was just awarded, so the contractor actually got their letter of award probably last week, and so there'll be some time there. So we'll go through the same process. They'll contact our resident engineer, and then they'll set up a pre-construction conference and give us their schedule. As far as the time frame, looking at probably 3 years at best to complete all 3 sections. And I think the guy over here had a question. Yeah.
How much is it going to cost?
Cost, the first section was $47 million.
Yeah.
The second section that was awarded was around $116 million. And the third section right now is estimated at $75 million. Yeah. We need to talk to the handsome young man there on the back row. Stand up, Adam Docker. He's our resident engineer. Everybody give him a hand. And if you have any issues, you call his cell, not my cell. But if you have praises, my number is not. So everything we do is public. It's a public meeting. I mean, I can't tell you not to show up, so you certainly can show up. But they're going to be talking a lot of, construction ease stuff. So it's not, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation about how you'll be affected, it's better to have a one-on-one conversation with him. Right, and he can help you with that. Right, and Adam can certainly run you through that and have that conversation.
Would you explain the history of the land bridge you're having to build out of the Appalachian Trail? Just why it's a land bridge and not for all these kids that don't know the background on it?
Wow, how much time do we have?
Well, he's not here till 11:30, so you got a lot of time.
Yeah, okay, your lunch break is 11:15, I'll try to. So the land bridge, it did start out, many years ago. So, as y'all know, the Appalachian Trail today is an at-grade crossing, which is not the best, and it's actually in a curve as well. So it's not the best scenario for hikers. So that has been part of the conversation, is what do you do with the AT when you come to this? And then on top of that, it is, like I said, it is a national historic place, registered place. So that puts another level of coordination on top of it that we have to go through. That was one of the, I believe back in the day, I wasn't there. I was in Backers, not. But back in the day, that was one of the stopping points. Oh, I forgot we're live here, and I just told everybody I was in Backers. But anyway, that was one of the stopping points back in the day, was the Appalachian Trail and what to do with it. Historically, I think we being DOT, thought about putting up just a pedestrian bridge, like a cast iron type of bridge. And not all of the agencies really liked that idea. It had merit, But then there was this component of it of a visual effect. With it being a historic property, you always have to look at, it's not just about maintaining the historic value of that property, but also looking at the, visual aesthetics of the feature. So from that, we started, the project stopped. We went through some mitigation, some conflict resolution. And as we started to come back to the idea of what are we going to do with the AT, at that point, that was when a lot of wheels started moving at the same time. And so that's when we really started collaborating with Way South and some of those partners. In Haywood County, there's an I-40 Safe Passage project that's moving along. And so a lot of the same people are in those two groups and looking at those two issues with the elk on I-40 and in Tennessee, in North Carolina, and then here, with our AT, and realizing that the Appalachian Mountains, the spine of the Appalachian is very much a wildlife passage from, up in Maine to, down, in the south. And so just that realization of the bridge is not only just for trail users, and it didn't need to just look better because it was a historic property, but what's the most logical next step that it needs to be to focus on everybody. And that's when we started really looking at a wildlife crossing and what that would look at. And then, then through the coordination and the collaboration and all the questions, we had to say, okay, well, what do we need to do? And so the idea was to separate the hiker from the wildlife. And so the bridge grew, to its current state to where we've got a 10-foot meandering path that the hikers can use that'll be fully vegetated. So it'll keep the hiker experience. So as you're coming down the AT, the idea is you'll never know that you're crossing 143. You'll think you're still in the woods as you cross 143. And then on the other side will be designated for the bears and all the other wildlife, understanding they can go wherever they want. But, we'll have a wider area for them that'll be set aside for them to use in that area. So that's kind of how it came about. I think there was a question back here.
Oh, yeah, is there going to be any more red lights added?
Red lights?
Yeah.
No, I was trying to remember. Actually, there's not any added, but we are doing, we're connecting the lights, so one's on 129 and down 143, they'll actually be able to talk to each other now when the project's complete, and so it should be a better connection progression. All right, y'all look like y'all are getting hungry. So what subject do y'all like?
PE.
PE, yeah. What are you doing in PE today?
Working out.
Nothing.
Working out, okay. Math, okay.
None.
Reading.
320.
What's the best part of your day?
320. Actually.
Any other questions? Well, I appreciate all the kids being here, and
Thank you.
everybody else that wanted to hang out, we'll hang out. The secretary. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Glad to see everybody here today. We got a beautiful day now. We had some fog earlier. We're here to celebrate the continuation of the construction of the Quarter K project, which runs through Graham County and then on over into Cherokee County. Got several speakers for you today. Going to give you some history on it, tell you a little more about it. So the first person, by the way, I'm Dirk Cody. I'm the Division 14 board member for North Carolina Department of Transportation. That's 10 most western counties in the state. But anyway, our first speaker is going to be the chairwoman of the Graham County Board of Commissioners, Miss Connie Orr.
Thank you for that warm welcome. And it's warm out here now, not so much. Earlier today, we were all kind of getting the shivers, but welcome to our visitors. We are glad to have you here. We hope you enjoy your time here. And also to the friends, I think my family has already moved on to other assignments, but our neighbors, our brothers and sisters, we all welcome you to this historical event. It's been a long time coming, but it's a wonderful, wonderful day to celebrate. The Appalachian Regional Commission was created by Congress in 1965 to bring 13 Appalachian states into the mainstream of the American economy. The Commission was created to promote economic growth and improve the quality of life for all 13 regions, which included Western North Carolina. The mission included new roads to promote economic growth and connectivity in remote, hard-to-access areas like Graham County. Corridor K was one of the roads that was proposed. At the time, Corridor K consisted of approximately 128 miles from I-40 near Waynesville, North Carolina, terminating at I-75 in Cleveland, Tennessee. 84 miles of the road was to be in North Carolina and 44 miles in Tennessee. The remaining portions of Corridor K, not completed and known as the missing links in North Carolina, run from the end of the 4-lane at Stacoa Grocery, now called Wolf Creek Grocery. They just did that to confuse me. And I'm easy, they didn't have to work that hard. To the 4-lane in Andrews, North Carolina. The majority of the missing link, once again, is in Graham County. Corridor K may possibly be the most studied highway in North Carolina history. Many environmental impact studies have been conducted through the years, such as the final Environmental Impact Statement, FEIS, completed in 1984 for the remaining unfinished portions of Corridor K. From 1995 to 2009, a total of 7 citizen informational workshops and 1 public hearing were held. The majority of local citizens were in favor of the proposed project, citing the county's challenging economic conditions, made more difficult by limited access to the area. The proposed highway, which we gratefully celebrate today, will be a vast improvement over the existing road system. The alternating passing lanes will improve school bus safety and will also improve the time required to provide ambulance, fire, and other rescue services. The beautiful proposed highway will enhance the beloved characteristics of our spectacular mountains, lakes, streams, waterfalls, and promote Graham County's #1 sustainable industry, travel and tourism. Through extensive coordination efforts with all stakeholders and the outstanding leadership of Wanda Austin, Division 14 engineer, the North Carolina Department of Transportation has received concurrence for this revised road project. Approvals were granted from the Federal Highway Administration, USDA Forest Service, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, North Carolina Division of Land Resources, North Carolina Division of Forest Resources, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. Inadequate road infrastructure has levied a harsh blow to Graham County and our economy through the years, forcing a local construction company that employed 1,400 people to leave Graham County and relocate where the infrastructure supported growth for their business. Yet Ted Phillips, who is a former North Carolina Highway Commissioner, and Ms. Avis Phillips never forgot their hometown. They worked tirelessly through many years and many administrations to promote the completion of Corridor K. Ms. Avis Phillips continues her valuable efforts as a stakeholder for Corridor K even today, and we appreciate her efforts and thank her very much. On behalf of Graham County, I would like to thank all parties for coming together to move this project forward, especially, once again, North Carolina Department of Transportation. Two, I would like to recognize all the people in this audience who have had any part in working to bring together the road that we are celebrating to this day. I see a lot of familiar, I'm not going to start naming names because I'm going to get in so much trouble if I do that, but I know, raise your hand if you've ever worked on this project. And that's all the hands. I just don't know all your names, so I'm going to stay out of trouble like that. But anyway, I appreciate every single one of you and the time that you've spent on that, the times that you've laid awake and wondered, is this time ever going to get here? Are we ever going to make this happen? And the answer is yes, thank God. Also, I would like to thank our Honorable Governor Roy Cooper, for his support and assistance. And last but not least, I would like to recognize our current Highway Commissioner, my brother and my friend, Dirk Cody. For this historic time, historic place, this historic day, Dirk, your efforts to fast-track this Corridor K project from Sequoia to Robbinsville will long be recalled with genuine gratitude. Dirk, would you stand and let's give him a round of applause, please. And I would like to ask that all parties involved to keep this important Corridor K project from Robbinsville to Andrews moving forward to completion as quickly as possible. The life of our beautiful county and the livelihood of our esteemed citizens depends upon it. And once again, I will ask if you are a veteran to please stand. Let's give him a round of applause. The favorite thing that I do is advocate for veterans on a volunteer basis. Thank you for your service and God bless you. And also, I would like Wanda, if you would please stand for just a moment. And let's give Wanda a nice round of applause to congratulate her on her recent engagement and upcoming marriage. Best always to you, Wanda. Thank you to this wonderful day. Thank you to God for lifting the fog and bringing us such a wonderful, beautiful picture of his handiwork right now. And may the rest of your day be blessed.
Thank you, Connie. Your words are just too kind, especially when it comes to me. But our next speaker will be the soon-to-be wed Wanda Austin, the Division 14 engineer, that the second female engineer, division engineer in the state, and the only one currently serving, so the only one that's about to get married.
Yeah, you can't come up with this stuff. This isn't like it. Well, good morning. I'm glad everybody is here this morning. We are in a beautiful part of North Carolina, and people are drawn to this area for the economic benefits also the natural beauty, but a lot of us that are here today are blessed to be able to call this home. And, you know, another very important reason to be thankful is that, you know, we are at our groundbreaking for Corridor K. As Connie was saying and Dirk was saying, this has been a long time coming for this section of Corridor K. And it'll be a transformative project for this area. But before we talk about the project some more, as Connie mentioned some of the agencies, I would like to extend a thank you for a lot of our partners that we've had. Federal Highway Administration, Appalachian Region Commission, Graham County, also the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. We have the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, U.S. Forest Service, the Environmental Protection Agency, North Carolina Division of Water Resources, North Carolina Wildlife, and also we had folks like Way South and Mountain True. That was also a huge part in our efforts to make today happen. And I would be remiss not to mention, you know, my staff and those who laid the groundwork, the foundation before me. We have former board members, former division engineers, former chief engineers that helped lay that groundwork and that foundation. So honestly, when it came mine and Dirk's time to come up here, it was easier because of that groundwork, and I appreciate it. And all of those folks, and there was probably others who, private engineering firms, specialists in the area. The collaboration and dedication of each of those partners is the reason why we're here today. And you know that the partnerships that have been formed and the commitment of each of the partners will go a long way, not only for Corridor K in Graham County, but across the state, and help us in the future as we try to provide a safe transportation network for our customers. It's not every day when a transportation project incorporates many needs beyond mobility and reliability. A lot of us here today understand that there's only 3 highways that can get you to this point, or 4 if you're coming from Knoxville. And so, you know, when you have a rock slide, there's not an easy way to get here, as contest from the secretary this morning. But this will, improve US 129, NC 143, and NC 28. And it will improve it to not only have those passing and climbing lanes, but we'll have a 10-foot shoulder, 8 of which will be paved. And that'll allow folks that are using the infrastructure to be able to get off the highway so that we can still have that reliability and connectivity that we need, so that folks in this area can get to resources, they can get to hospitals, they can get to higher education, and any other services that they may need. And it's also to bring folks into this area so they can enjoy the beauty that we enjoy on a daily basis. Other enhancements on the project is a 10-foot multi-use path in the Sequoia area. And then we also have sidewalks here in Robbinsville that'll go from the intersection to the high school. And that'll help make that last connection there for the high school kids. But I think the part that probably shines out the most is the wildlife passage, the crossing that we're going to be building for the Appalachian Trail and for the wildlife that's in that area. This is the first, I said earlier that I think some people down in Winston-Salem say that they had the first wildlife passage, but I think this is the first wildlife passage in North Carolina, definitely in Western North Carolina. And it's a unique structure. There was a lot of collaboration, a lot of thought put into that. And it was one of those areas that, I think everybody, all the partners had to come to the table to decide, what was best for the project itself. And it will not only have the Appalachian Trail will be realigned to the crossing, but it'll also be that safe passage for the wildlife. The bridge itself is 160 feet long, 220 feet wide, and 29 feet tall. It's been, Corridor K has been several decades in the making, but thanks to the collaboration, we are here today. And now our Secretary of Transportation, Eric Boyd, will speak in a few moments. He's traveled from Raleigh via Knoxville, via the tail of the dragon to get here. And he did all of that. He did all that because he recognized how important this project is to Western North Carolina. So like him, we all know that we are to meet the diverse needs of a growing and changing population, and we must be willing to have the ongoing communication and collaboration with the public we serve. So with this, I'll turn it over to Mr. Boyd.
I don't know who named that route, the Tail of the Dragon. I have 2 kids. I've read many books, and that did not look like anything that I've seen Puff the Magic Dragon take them all. It's not it. So, number one, thank you for being patient. We are glad to be here today, and I am Eric Boyd, the Secretary for the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and what a beautiful day. If you think about why we're here to celebrate, Corridor K, what happened for us today is a prime example. How do you get to Robbinsville? We did joke a little bit. Do we really take a route, or what do we do? But this is why we're here. This is exactly what we're here to celebrate today. And if you think about this being the final link for the Appalachian Development Highway System, it started in 1965. You heard our speakers talk about the efforts. They have been long and dedicated. So for us, from the Highway Department, from Transportation, I want to tell you thank you for being our partners. You heard the list that Wanda mentioned. We have a lot of partners, and it's something that we do each and every day, not only with our citizens, but with our engineering firms, with our RPOs, our MPOs, our rural planning organizations, and our metropolitan planning organizations. It's something that we strive to do better each and every day. And this is the outcome of what we do. As Dirk mentioned too, it takes strong partnerships. And it's something that is evident when we grab those shovels, that the dedication and the heart of the people in the community. And if you look at, what are we celebrating today? And you heard Wanda mention some of it. You look at, we're providing, Corridor K is going to be an avenue for better education, better opportunities, better health care, more options for jobs. Anytime we make investment in infrastructure in North Carolina, we know that there's economic development attached to that. And that's why we pride ourselves on what we do each and every day. Also, you heard Wanda talk about the travel times. Safety. Safety is something that we take high priority on in our agency. And this is one way we can help give back to the community. But as we look forward, we can't wait. We're excited. Today's a great day. We just want to make sure that we're providing the opportunities that the communities ask for, need, and will utilize. And we know Corridor K is a prime example of that. And we're just glad to be here today. And Dirk, I think before we grab those shovels, I think you've got some closing comments, if I'm correct. Or are we just going to grab shovels and toss dirt?
We can talk about her getting married some more.
I do want to do one thing before I step away from the podium. We did have a hurricane come through our state. On a serious note, we were very fortunate. We did lose some lives in our state, but our brothers and sisters in Florida are really hurting. So I would like to take 1 minute, or take a moment of silence to remember them, and let's just bow our heads. Thank you.